Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. This is the amateur, where I'm here just to talk life, ideologies, hobbies, politics, what have you. And happy Valentine's Day, y'all. I'm here. I'm going to be responding to a news article that came out way back in January, so long ago. But it's Valentine's Day, obviously, so we're gonna get into a little bit of love. So essentially, what happened is, I don't know how much y'all have heard, but Drake put hot sauce in a condom in order to kill his sperm after having sex. A woman dug it out of the trash and tried to impregnate herself with it, and she tried to sue Drake over that incident. And this is just a whole hot mess. So let's just look at, so I've seen other different takes on this, and Roma Army, who is a self-proclaimed men's rights activist, and she's a little shaky. I don't think she understands what men actually need. It's almost, I don't know. In my perception, it's almost a little bit of coddling. But that's just my perspective and not the point. But anyway, she had also put out a video in response to this, and I'll just go ahead and play that real quick.
Start putting hot sauce in your used condoms. Yeah, you heard me. Heard of the rapper Drake, right? The Canadian rapper. If you haven't, you're really not missing much. Don't come at me. I just don't like his music. Anyways, it actually probably could do more with his, involvement with minors, but who am I to say? Allegedly, right? Anyways, my personal feelings about the man aside, undoubtedly, he is a genius. An Instagram model accuses Drake of putting hot sauce inside of a condom. No, you did not hear me wrong. You heard that right. Drake accused of putting hot sauce in a condom in bizarre claim by Instagram model. First of all, this chick really thought that she was going to go on social media and garner a bunch of sympathy because she took a used condom from Drake, right, and tried to put it up her hoo-ha. You know that's what was happening, right? Not only that, but this bitch had to go and fish the condom out of the garbage, probably put it in her purse, take it home, and then try to put the, love juices up her hoo-ha. And then she goes on social media thinking other people are going to what? What? You want flowers and Care Bears at your doorstep? You're the weirdo digging through trash for a used condom. Listen, gentlemen, there are a lot of women out there like this.
I ain't mad at you. Got nothing but love for you. Do you think, boy?
Ask him for his nut, right? So that you can freeze it and then use it when you want to trap him. Okay. Honestly, I don't think that this Instagram model's goals was met, okay? I think that she probably assumed everybody was going to go to Drake like, oh my God, you're an asshole. When in reality, he just gave a heck of a bunch of us a really good idea that I'm surprised nobody thought of first. Honestly. So, keep it in your pants. Or put hot sauce in your used condom. Be smart. Wrap your willy. Thank you.
Okay, and so there's just two ways that you can look at this. And the first way is just like, one, Drake was not wrong for putting hot sauce in the condom. Like, that wasn't, like, it was used, he was done with it, wanted to kill his sperm, whatever. And the woman who tried putting a contaminated, gross, old condom and shoving its contents up her hoo-ha is an idiot. She's an idiot woman and deserved exactly what she got for doing something so stupid. But it's just like, the question that needs to be, the answer is not to men, the answer to men is not to say, oh, you'll just keep putting hot sauce in your condoms, that'll solve all the problems. The answer, or the question really that men should be asking yourself is, why are you sleeping with that kind of woman? Because no one's forcing you to have sex with her. Literally no one forced Drake to have sex, to engage in sexual interactions with that particular woman. And I'm just going to go ahead, because I think I said most of what I said on this in the comment under the community post that she posted, but I'm just going to go ahead and read out what I said, because I was a little bit more poignant there. But I said, okay, so the first part was, here's a better question. Why would you sleep with a woman you felt the need to put hot sauce in a condom? Maybe don't have sex with a woman you don't trust. The hoo-ha ain't worth all that. So one is like, stop treating women like they're just a vagina with feelings. You know what I'm saying? Like a real life pocket. I'm gonna say it's a little vulgar. It's gonna be vulgar, trigger warning. But stop treating women like a real life pocket pussy. And so it's just like, this is an actual human being. They have thoughts and actions and feelings and emotions, and what you do can later lead to other things depending on the morals and the character that they uphold. So you're just gonna have sex with her. You're gonna treat her like a little, like she's just, just something to stick it in and go off her way. But she's like, well, I have this my own agenda. I have what I want for myself. Like, you can't just ignore that from that person. But it led to a whole series of comments about saying, well, you can't trust everyone, and that's fine. You're not really supposed to trust everyone. Like, trust is something that's earned and it's demonstrated, as I've said. And so someone replied, who was it? He said, women can flip their prerogative at the drop of a hat. Don't be naive. And I said, nope, not all women, just like it's not all men. So, don't, it might seem like it's all men if you're going to continually be in a place where it's those type of men that you're around. Like, that's what it might seem like, but it's not. And same goes for women. Like, if that's all the type of women that you're around, that's what it might seem. But I said, I promise you there's not a single woman, a single person who can hide their character so well that betrayal just blindsides you. Meaning that it's something where either you just weren't looking or you didn't know what to look for. But especially with women, like women, they're not good. They're not good at just hiding their character like that. Like we aren't. And men are supposed to be the more logical ones here. Like, think with your brain, not with your hoo-ha, and more with your big head, and you would be able to catch a woman's BS long before she pulls one over you. And I said, I'm very much firmly on the side of no sex until marriage, and marriage being an onus that falls squarely on the shoulders of men. Men are supposed to be the ones who engage in that action of asking a woman to commit to him, to submit to him, to be his wife. So, like, if a man doesn't want to get married, then, that's really on him. Like, and I know that's the gender norm, whatever that feminism is trying to switch, but like, that's not, you're disrupting a structure that doesn't need to exist. But essentially, like, the man is the one that needs to lead, initiate, engage in order to make marriage happen. And that's, again, the whole other, the symbology of marriage in the Bible, that's going to be a whole nother topic. But I said, but people are hard-headed, meaning that people don't listen to what God instructs as good, and people don't really care what the Bible says. So I said, I will say this: a woman can only go so long before her actions fully support what she says she believes or prove her to be a hypocrite. Withhold sex and watch. What does she do? It's not about putting her through tests for her to prove herself. And I mentioned this in another video, as far as with some women tend to do this with men, where they like to test, push buttons, push limits. Don't do that. Just watch. Just watch what she does. Watch what she does. But I said, if she says she's only about the D, then and the bag, so she's only about the D and money, believe her. If her actions show her to be vain, to hold the views of society to the utmost importance, no signs of humility, blames the stars, astrology, the rocks and crystals and men and everything and anything but herself for why she does what she does, there's no signs of gratitude. She can't take responsibility for the things she does. Believe that. Believe the things that she has shown you. And if that's the kind of woman you want to stick your hoo-ha to, then you get what you get. Which might be a woman trying to set you up to take your money because that's what she's about and that's what she's shown that she's about. Or you didn't know that's what she was about because you didn't think to look and ask before you just used her. So think about that. And then I said, but it's really hard to know what a good woman is supposed to be without first knowing God, because knowing God is to know what is good. Okay? And even if you don't like Christianity, which is an emotional response, not a logic-based response, there's still an awful lot that can be learned. Again, this is like Book of Proverbs. Book of Proverbs is just such an amazing book of wisdom, which is what it's supposed to be. And Honestly, I think more people need to read it, or at least you need to be able to stick that into some other novel or something so people can learn its message. And I've made videos talking about this, about stupid all feminists, to include the first way if you want to learn is something new. And that is my What is Feminism? And this, I think episodes 4, 5, and 6 of this podcast series is what it talks about feminism and why it's awful. But anywho, I said, I sincerely hope you read through this. It's hard being a man, but that's kind of the point. And I've mentioned that the burden, that higher responsibility that's been granted by God above women is the burden of manhood that women can't take away no matter what. Whether men try to give it away, that's not possible. If women try to take it, still not possible, which is why feminism, to a point, is always right as far as when they say it's always the man's fault. Because it will always be the man's fault, whether it's the man's fault or not. But again, go watch that video, so that makes more sense, because it sounds like I'm coming from men, and I'm not, but I am. But anyway, I only say all of this because I care, I really do. I'm sick of men and maleness and masculinity being vilified. But the answer is men not enabling evil. It has always been that. Good luck. So, well, I didn't say that. I said much love and good luck. But especially at the end, that it's men enabling evil. And I mentioned this again, Eden Round 2. That was episode 5. Check that out if you want to get a little more discussion of this. But that was exactly what happened with freaking feminism and all the men that came in and were like, yeah, feminism, men are equal, male is equal to female, and like, that's wrong. It's wrong. Okay, and so then next, someone said, just letting you know, thinking logically about women make me lose my attraction to them, and trying to find one that isn't crazy is next to impossible. I am better off single because I value my sanity. And that's, okay, is good. So then I replied, and this is where I'm going to get into a whole bunch of Proverbs, so just stick tight. So I said that's 100% okay. Like, that's what needs to happen. So here come the Proverbs. All right, so Proverbs chapter 12, verse 4, a wife with strength of character is the crown of her husband, but the wife who disgraces him is like decay in the bones. Proverbs 18:22, he who finds a wife finds a good thing and receives favor from the Lord. But also Proverbs 21:19, it is better to live in a desert land than with a quarrelsome and fretful woman. Proverbs 25:24, it is better to live in a corner of the house top than in a house shared with a quarrelsome wife. Proverbs 27:15, a continual dripping on a rainy day and a quarrelsome wife are alike. Proverbs 31:10-31, the virtues of a noble woman, and this is a very long passage, I just summarized it, sort of. An excellent wife who can find? She is more precious than jewels. Charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, but a woman who fears the Lord is to be praised. Proverbs 5:22, why be captivated, my son, by an immoral woman? Proverbs 6:20-29, also summarized, but it essentially reads, listen to God and flee from wicked woman. Don't lust for her beauty and coy tongue. Don't be captivated by her looks. You can't embrace fire without also being burned. All this to say is that everything you're saying has already been told. A good wife is hard to find, but she is also a true treasure to behold. A woman to be your equal, to continue your legacy, to have that special bond of trust and respect eternally. It is something almost magical. But if she is not a woman of that caliber or shows the capability to even be at that level, it is much better to not deal with her at all. And when men think worth the hoo-ha, they almost always wind up with wicked women that God says not worth the trouble. But as men, as fathers, as heads of the household, y'all set the standard. Like men, you set the standard. I don't know how many times I can say this. Men, you set the standard. Women, we also need to set the standard, but the standard that men set is higher than the standard that women set. It's something like I said before, is like if all women were to open their legs and invite men in to have sex with them, it's the responsibility of the men to still say no, like stop it, or or I'm not having sex with you until you can demonstrate XYZ, or until stuff happens. Like, if all, like, no one, all this stuff could be mitigated if men were up to par. If, like, the majority of men were up to par, but not the case. But I said, anyway, I said, y'all set the standard, and it's harder for a father to set the standard when he is absent from the home. He's not in his children's life, okay? And unfortunately, weak men enables feminism that subverted the concept of marriage and family. And again, check out episode 4, exactly what I said. And something's got to give. More men said, I'm not entertaining a woman's BS. Then change will come slowly but surely. We can hope. And again, this is not saying that it's only men that need to change. Like, obviously women need to change as well. But like, it's hard to articulate that, like, the men in the household are just so important. They are so important. And feminism, like, I can't say all women, but like a lot of feminism spouses really tries to subvert that importance. And it's really, I mean, it's come up amongst some of the conservative channels, and it's just like, it's not really the issue, because it is better for a household to have two parents than one. But it is even better for that household to consist of a mother and father than just two mothers and just two fathers, because women are better at teaching femininity than men. Men are better at teaching masculinity than women. And so those two are important and necessary in order to have that appropriate balance when it's all used correctly and used in accordance with what God calls us to do. But especially when the father is absent from the home, that's when we miss a lot of that discipline, a lot of that guidance. And like, children don't know. I mean, children know. They know the effects of having a good father, as well as having the effects of a bad father, like a father who is there but does not do what is expected of a father, as well as knowing the effects of an absent father, or even just a father who has passed. But like, men, you're the only ones that can fulfill the role of father. And that is so important, and I don't think that's highlighted enough. Okay, but yeah, so that was pretty much the crux of that issue, as far as with, again, making sure, like even if you don't believe anything that I just said about in Proverbs or Christianity or whatever, it's like, have better standards for yourself, because no woman, like a woman who would go through such lengths to do that to a man who she knows he does not want to have a child with her, does not respect that man, okay? Like, at all. It's like, not even about trust. It's like, there is no respect from her to that man. And the fact that she would go to the trash can, dig up a used condom, stick it in her hoo-ha. It's like, seeing that it was contaminated and red, and she would still stick it up her hoo-ha in the hopes and attempts of being pregnant. Like, what kind of woman does that? It's not a woman that you want to sleep with, not for yourself. Like, all I'm saying, at a minimum, is at least try to have sex with someone who respects you as a person, who would at least acknowledge that you don't want to get pregnant and not intentionally go out of her way to make herself pregnant. Okay, but also just wait until marriage to have sex. And those are just my thoughts on it. What do I know? I'm just an amateur. Really, I am just an amateur, especially in regards to sex and marriage. But come at me. I think that was a pretty poignant thought. And also, like, yeah, I can't say much there. Anyway, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.